Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to Soul String. What you just heard was Battle Without Honor or Humanity by Tomoyasu Hotei. I love that piece, and I just wanted to do a quick video talking about why it's a fantastic piece of music. It's a great soundtrack. As you know, it was in Kill Bill and many other films actually. But overall, it's a fantastic example of how to structure a piece of music which is instrumental and still keep the energy, the passion, and the attitude. So let's get into it. As you can see, I've got my acoustic guitar because I just thought it would be fun to look at some of the features of this song with an acoustic rather than electric. What makes it really cool in a lot of the live versions is that Tomoyasu uses a number of effects, a number of delays on it, and it sounds awesome. I mean, if you get a chance to watch him live, it's a fantastic show, and he's a fantastic guitarist. But his use of effects I really like, especially on that song. But let's try it on acoustic just to look at the main song structure. So obviously the bit that everyone knows is the repeating, pulsating kind of guitar groove that goes along with the drums. So that bit there is what sticks in your mind immediately. In my opinion, especially when you're creating an instrumental piece of music, having that repeating hook, I think, is the most important thing. Because when you have vocals, that kind of brings the song in a different direction. It adds, naturally, the vocals are a hook, so it adds that to the music. But in this case, by having such a repeating and pulsating and energetic riff all along, basically, with the song, is a unique way of capturing someone's attention. So that bit there is incredibly simple. It's literally second string, 5, 7. But what's very difficult and unique about it is the right hand movement, so the rhythm that he applies to it in a kind of almost robotic way. So it's that that rhythm with the right hand is the most important thing here. It's a deceptively complex riff because he's actually doing pull-offs here and on the 7th fret. But it's such a groovy piece of music that it immediately draws your attention to what's going to happen. And at the same time, it serves a second purpose, which is building up the tension. So it builds up the tension in the song for ultimately an initial release. So it goes from he does it in two different ways. So it builds, bam, it hits you with this section here, and what you get is it's backed with incredible horns, and the arrangement behind it is incredible. The drum groove at the same time is really nice because it's got that almost electronic kind of beat to it, very on the money, it's very tight. So that's really, really awesome. Obviously, the main highlight, which it all builds up to, becomes the initial melody bit. That's the part that sticks in your mind. That's the release of the song, is that so I'm not playing it exactly the same just because it's quite difficult on acoustic as well, but that's the initial release, and that's obviously again on an A, so you could play it up here on acoustic if you wanted to. And then it goes back to the main riff, which on the album version is again very steady. It builds you up. He does various like sound effects on it, which is really cool as well. On the live version, he does something which is fantastic. He then goes into various little solos down here on the 12th fret. I want to say almost Hendrixy in some of the solos down here. Very, very cool solos on the live version. So after the initial melody bit, whilst the backing band is just going on with the, he's soloing away around the 12th position. And then what happens? The theme of it builds up and it goes into the release, which he does the same melody, more or less the same melody as before, just higher up. So it gives you that gradual build up to the grand melody finale, which is incredible. This specific song is a masterclass of how to do an instrumental guitar driven track, because you have that really hooky initial part that brings you along and it keeps you concentrated and it keeps you into the song. Then you have the incredible melody bit that kind of relieves the tension that has been building up, and you have that in two different positions. So one is higher, so again you're still climbing that climax, and after the second melody bit it throws you into this interlude section, which is probably my favorite bit of the song, because it's really a straight up rock groove and it's really, really awesome. It's again very simple but with that really cool groove to it. So it goes something like, and it just repeats for a few bars, and that's that. I mean, again, if you look at it, very simple to play, but the rhythm is what keeps it going. Very cool. So that again is an incredible liberation for the listener. So after the it goes back to the, you can see why this works so well as a soundtrack for film, because after the melody, after all these things, it keeps building, and then again you have another high point where it just goes into this more rocky kind of groove and then circles round to the ongoing riff. So it's exactly what happens in films. So it goes up, down, and then comes back up when you least expect it, and bam, it hits you again. So an incredible piece of music. And for me as a guitarist and composer, I just wanted to take the time to highlight some of the things that this piece really embodies. I find that as opposed to a lot of guitar instrumental tracks, it doesn't get caught in the trap of overplaying, of people filling every void with shreddy guitar. This piece concentrated on the groove, on building the tension. Technically, it's not as simple as it looks. It's very good to do it hard. So it's, again, it's kind of like an AC/DC thing, right? Everyone can play AC/DC, but can you play it right? That's the point. But this one, you can feel that groove, and it just created the hooks, for me personally, in the right ways, for keeping the attention span of the viewer, listener, whatever it is, and culminating in very specific points throughout the song. So this, for me, is a masterclass on how to write a rock guitar soundtrack. And if you don't know Tomoyasu Hotei's work, go check it out because it's fantastic. Go on YouTube and check out some of his live videos. Really cool. He's got that attitude and he's an all-round superstar. So, peace to everyone. Have a great time and rock on.